Welcome to Lagniappe, a program about events, issues, and people. I'm Cory Crowe. I'm joined today by Lenore Weiss, an author that has written a new novel called Pulp Into Paper. Lenore, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Cory, for having me.
Well, first, you and I talked a couple of weeks ago about your new novel, Pulp Into Paper, and you're not from our part of the world, are you?
No, I'm not. I was living here for a few years, but it was a very different place for me.
You said you lived in Oakland and then in New York and liked the quiet of Louisiana and have come to enjoy the society down here too, right?
Absolutely. It's quite beautiful.
Well, I guess one of the things you encountered was paper mills, and a lot of them here in Northeast Louisiana and Arkansas. Your new novel, Pulp Into Paper, is a fiction work, but it takes a look at lots of things, love and paper mills and the impact they have on communities. Tell me about this novel. What was the reason for writing a story that one of the central characters is the paper mill itself?
You got it. You know, Cory, when I first got down here, I immediately noticed the air quality was different for me. And that was curious, and I'm a person who likes to ask questions. So I went to the Monroe, spoke to some of the city council people, and they put me in touch with someone from the Louisiana Environmental Action Project. And she, in turn, had been very involved working with a group of retirees up at one of the local paper mills, Georgia Pacific Mill, up in Arkansas. And it was a really disastrous situation up there because there were all these cancers that people were coming down with, including young children, 10-year-olds who should never have something like that. Terrific episodes of asthma, and one of the characters in the book, a young boy, dies as a result of that.
So in your book, you take a look at the environmental effects that the mill had on that area. Tell me about the main characters. Who are the main characters in your book?
Well, the main character that this centers on is Vernon Wolf, and he is the lead environmental officer at the paper mill in my fictional town of Hensbury. And he was recently promoted. He's a single dad, former musician, and he really is working hard to put his daughter through school and hopes that she will be the first in his family to finish college. So he faces a situation, he gets involved with Rae-Ann, and Rae-Ann happens to be the owner of the Half and Half, which is a convenience store at the crossroads between Arkansas and Louisiana. Arkansas, in this case, this county is dry, so the mill workers and everybody else coming through stop and buy their beer there. So Rae-Ann and Vernon eventually get involved with each other.
The close-knit community of Hensbury also is a racist community too, right? There's some bad things going on.
Absolutely. Well, the mill is dumping all its effluents in the backyard of largely the black community. They don't have to be concerned about the regulations. They think nobody's going to pay attention. But as a result, the black community in Hensbury is primarily the ones who are being impacted by the lack of environmental regulations.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about your reason for writing this book. What were your reasons for taking on? I mean, you think about a love story and a novel and that, but was it environmental justice, or what was the reasoning behind the book?
Well, thanks for asking, Cory. It was all those things. As someone who really loved to be in this area and understanding the importance of storytelling and the things that people share with each other, I wanted to write an entertaining novel. I also was very moved to put this together because of the environmental justice issues, which this mill and this situation was one example, but particulars, God is always in the details. So for that reason also, I wanted to write the book.
If we've got a couple of minutes here, can you read me a passage from your book? We're talking with Lenore Weiss today. Pulp Into Paper is her new fiction novel.
Yeah, thank you. This is just a paragraph to give you about Vernon. Vernon worked at a paper mill where trees up to 100 feet tall met their final death by chemical process. The resulting product, beside tissue and toilet paper, was wastewater dumped into a nearby stream. Hardly anyone remembered when it flowed clean. It used to be called the Silver River. Now, everyone called it the Mud, outlined on either side by rows of loblolly pine, trees tall and as straight as 4 or 5 flagpoles stacked on top of each other.
Thank you, Lenore. That was very nice. Now, you're going to be telling your story and out visiting with a little trip tomorrow in Natchitoches. Where are you going to be tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I'm going to be in Natchitoches at the Story Brew Cafe, and I can pull that right up here. It's at 780 Front Street, and from 6 to 7:30.
You'll head down to Maple Leaf Books in New Orleans, and then Tuesday you're back in Ruston at Number 9 Books. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I'm going to be reading at Number 9, and that's at 301 North Trenton Street from 6 to 7. And I'm told it's going to be a really big audience.
For folks to find out more about your books, how do they learn more about your works?
Amazon is always a good place to go. Also, you can head to my website, LenoreWeiss.com.
That's Lenore Weiss, the book, Pulp Into Paper. Find out more at our website, KEDM.org.